let's talk about the Niners offense because something is wrong with it. 13 points today. Now, we know the Niners offense is great when they face NFC West teams. It was great before they got Christian McCaffrey. They put 27 points on the Seahawks. Then they put 24 points on the Rams. Then they put 31 points on the Rams. Then they put 37 points on the Cardinals. They can really put up points against teams in their division. When they go against teams outside of their division, they're averaging 18 points per game, 18.4. And when you take away that 37-point game against Carolina, who fired their coach the next day, the Niners are averaging 15.3 points per game against non-division opponents. So if you knew that coming into this game, you really shouldn't be surprised that the Niners offense scored 13 against the Saints because the Saints have a decent defense, even without Marshawn Lattimore, who was injured today. And the Niners have a broken offense unless they're facing an NFC West team. All those teams suck, and the Niners know. The offense is somehow broken. Christian McCaffrey ain't fixing nothing. Although, despite the fact that Christian McCaffrey's struggling and the offensive line is struggling and Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play well today, they moved the ball well. They got inside the 10-yard line a bunch. So the problem with the Niners offense isn't really moving the ball, it's scoring. Especially when they're real close to the red zone. And if you ask Kyle Shanahan about it, he'll shut down the question because it's his fault. Kyle, I'm looking at you right now. It's your fault. What's your excuse? You don't have enough weapons? Oh, you don't have the quarterback? Well, it's the quarterback you got. It's the quarterback you've had for 6 years, and he's, 41-19? He's got the same record as Steve Young? Yeah, you can't blame Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. Here's the problem with your offense in the red zone, Kyle. I know you're watching right now. You hate me. So you're watching. You're hate watching me right now. You call really conservative plays in the red zone. Your attitude in the red zone is I'm going to push my way in between the tackles, or I'm going to throw passes in the flat and ask my wide receivers to push their way in out there. That's not good enough, Kyle. You have premium weapons. Can you call some freaking passes that travel beyond the goal line? That go from the quarterback past the line of scrimmage, past the goal line, into the freaking end zone. Can you do that? Is that too much to ask? Because you got guys on this team like George Kittle, who's 6'5", and Jawan Jennings, who's 6'3", and meanwhile, you're calling passes for Jawan Jennings in the flat, or Kyle Juszczyk in the flat, or Christian McCaffrey in the flat, or Deebo Samuel in the flat. It's boring. It's conservative. It sucks. Can you just let your talent be talented? Kyle Shanahan is so smart that he outthinks himself at the 5-yard line consistently. The only reason they scored a touchdown today is because Tyrann Mathieu tipped the ball to Jawan Jennings. Frankly, that should have been a pick. And the one that Paulson Adebo dropped should have been a pick too. Too many weapons for for Kyle Shanahan to run out of ideas at the goal line. When he gets to the goal line, it's going to be a run between the tackles to Christian McCaffrey or a pass in the flat to Kittle or Deebo or Juszczyk or whoever. I mean, when they actually throw it in the end zone to Brandon Ayuk, touchdown. Did they do that today? No. Why? Because Kyle's too smart for that. Why would you do that when it's working? Let's throw the ball to Juszczyk at the 6-yard line and ask him to break 3 tackles because that's genius. This is what I said when the Niners traded for Christian McCaffrey. I said the problem is not the running backs, the talent, the weapons. It's Kyle. How is another running back going to make Kyle better? It hasn't. You could put him at the 2-yard line, and Kyle's like, I don't know how to get 2 yards. Can someone help me get 2 yards? Can you help me? I don't know how to get 2 yards. They pay me $10 million a year, and I don't know how to get 2 yards. It's just too hard for him. But what's he going to do? You ask Kyle Shanahan, hey, man, you guys really struggling to score in the red zone. What's the problem? Oh, yeah, there was this one play, and there was this one play, and then last week there was this one mix. No, dude, it's an overriding pattern. What's the problem? Oh, he won't say. Well, that means you don't know the answer. You don't know the fix. It's still going to be an issue. And it's not an issue today. Like, you beat the Saints. You won 13-0. Yay! Let's throw a parade for the 49ers for beating the Saints. Well, what happens when you do this crap in the playoffs? What if you do this in the first round of the playoffs, looking like the Niners are going to make it, looking like they're going to have a playoff game, but if they do, they're going to be playing someone a whole lot better than New Orleans. What if the Niners can't put the ball in the end zone against whatever playoff team they face? They're going to lose. So it'd be nice if the Niners started playing the way they're going to have to play in the playoffs. And frankly, the defense and special teams are there. It's almost December, and the defense and special teams are there. The offense gets worse. Take away the division games because they're not playing the Saints. They're not playing the Seahawks, most likely, or the Cardinals or the Rams in the playoffs. In the playoffs, they're going to have to face a team they haven't faced. They don't know as well. And every time the Niners do that, unless Carolina, who also isn't going to be in the playoffs, this offense gets like 15 points. That's going to be a first-round loss. So I'm trying to be hard on the Niners. I'm trying to be hard on Kyle Shanahan and shame him into coaching better. Because every time we think he's going to take a hard look in the mirror and figure out what he's doing wrong, he blames it on a player or convinces himself that it's all fixed because they beat the Cardinals. Well, it's not fixed. I mean, they were worse today on offense than they were 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, who freaking stink. And let's look at this Chargers-Saints, both of these games. Take away the Cardinals game. Chargers and Saints had two of the worst run defenses in the league. They shut down the Niners run game. So what's wrong with the Niners offense? Kyle Shanahan wants to be a run-first offense. He wants to get under center and run outside zone. That ain't working. Why? Well, because Christian McCaffrey, all you got to do to shut him down is set the edge. He's an outside runner. Get him to run between the tackles. He ain't that good at it. So now the Niners are a one-dimensional team. Their run game isn't working. And their one-dimensional team is a pass-first offense with Jimmy Garoppolo. Good luck. I know people love Jimmy Garoppolo, but even his biggest supporters know that he ain't that great. He needs a defense and a run game and a bunch of weapons, and if you put the whole game on his shoulders, he'll score about 13 points. So Kyle's going to have to figure out how to run the ball, balance out this offense, and score in the red zone. Luckily for him, he has an elite quality control coach who does it pro bono.